Center Mitchell Robinson has agreed to a 3-year, $47.4 million deal to sign with the Boston Celtics. He's got a player option in the third season after leading the Knicks to a championship in a role player position. He is now moving on to the Boston Celtics. David, your reaction?
I mean, it was great what he did with the Knicks, and it was time for them to part. I don't really know what this means for the Celtics till we figure out what the Jaylen Brown trade looks like. It seems like this is more signaling of him being out very soon, but we just do not know what that roster is going to look like around Mitchell Robinson. I don't think he is a starter-level center that's going to be that much of a difference maker on the squad, but I also don't know what kind of difference maker Boston is going to make overall until we see the package they get for Jaylen Brown.
This is a pretty interesting move by the Celtics. The Celtics needed center help. They've been thin at the frontline position since they had to lose Al Horford and they traded away Kristaps Porzingis last year. And they've signaled that they want Nimi Keita, their terrific pickup from a couple of years ago at low money, to be their future center. And so they bring in Mitchell Robinson, I think, here as a backup, and this is a quality signing for a backup position here. This is the mid-level salary. It's about what he was making last year, give or take a little bit of money, and he's obviously proven that he can be very impactful. The Celtics have immense respect for him because last year when they played in the playoffs, Joe Mazzulla's central game plan was to foul the heck out of him to get him off the court. They believe that Mitchell Robinson is a very important player, so they're backing it up here with with this move. Now, they have, in the past, guys, they have wanted to have at least one center who can stretch the floor. That's why they went out and got Porzingis. That's why they kept Horford. That's why they went out and traded for Nikola Vucevic last year. Vucevic actually signed with the Magic this morning. So this will be two centers. Keita didn't make a three-pointer last year. You're certainly not having Mitchell Robinson take a shot from more than 3 or 4 feet from the basket. So this is leaning into pretty much always having a non-shooter on the court. But beyond that, it is, look, a lot has been said about analytics and the Boston Celtics in recent days. The analytics of the Boston Celtics department believes that Mitchell Robinson is an analytical star because they made it a central part of their game plan to get him off the court. So I'm sure they're pretty pleased with this move, not only getting him, but also taking him away from the Knicks, who follow Jim Dolan's words and do not go into the second apron. They right now only have about $8 million they could have offered him. This is not quite double that, but pretty close. And so this is what happens. You win a championship and you draw a line at your spending. Sometimes you lose role players.
That's the thing that fascinates me about all this. So many people are going to be disappointed that Mitchell Robinson will no longer be a New York Knick and going to the hated Boston.
I am fascinated by the recent news of Mitchell Robinson agreeing to a 3-year $47.4 million deal with the Boston Celtics. This move has sent shockwaves throughout the NBA, and I believe it's a significant signing for the Celtics. As I dive into the details of this deal, I want to explore what this means for the Celtics and how Mitchell Robinson will fit into their lineup. Firstly, let's talk about Mitchell Robinson's skills as a player. He's an incredible athlete with a strong presence in the paint. His ability to rebound and defend is unparalleled, and he's a game-changer on the court. I've seen him win games single-handedly with his offensive rebounding prowess, and he's a nightmare to match up against. The Celtics clearly recognize his value, and it's no surprise they've made a significant investment in him. Now, I know some people might be thinking, but Mitchell Robinson is just a backup center, why are the Celtics paying him so much? And that's a fair question. However, I believe the Celtics see him as a crucial piece of their puzzle. They've been thin at the front line position since they lost Al Horford and traded away Kristaps Porzingis, and Mitchell Robinson fills a significant gap. He's a quality signing, and his mid-level contract is a steal considering his production on the court. One of the most interesting aspects of this deal is how the Celtics plan to utilize Mitchell Robinson. As a backup center, he'll likely play behind Neemias Queta, their young and talented center. However, I believe Mitchell Robinson will still see significant minutes, especially given his ability to dominate on the glass. The Celtics have immense respect for him, and it's clear they value his skills. In fact, during the playoffs last year, Joe Mazzulla's game plan was to foul him repeatedly to get him off the court, which speaks to his importance. The analytics also support the signing of Mitchell Robinson. The Celtics analytics department believes he's an analytical star, and his numbers back it up. He's one of the best defensive rebounders in NBA history, and his ability to stretch the floor is a significant asset. While he may not be a traditional shooter, his presence on the court creates matchup problems for opposing teams. I'm also intrigued by the implications of this signing for the Knicks. By losing Mitchell Robinson, they've created a significant hole in their lineup. He was a crucial part of their championship run, and his departure will be felt. The Knicks had limited cap space to offer him a significant deal, and it's clear they drew a line at their spending. Sometimes, when you win a championship, you have to make tough decisions, and this is one of them. As I look at the bigger picture, I'm excited to see how the Celtics will integrate Mitchell Robinson into their lineup. They've got a talented young core, and adding a veteran presence like Mitchell Robinson will only help. The question on everyone's mind is what will happen with Jaylen Brown, but I believe the Celtics are making a statement with this signing. They're committed to winning, and they're willing to make moves to achieve that goal. The Lakers, on the other hand, are facing a different challenge. With LeBron James and Rui Hachimura potentially leaving, they've got a significant void to fill. Replacing those players won't be easy, and they'll need to make some savvy moves to stay competitive. The center market is also a concern, as they desperately need to upgrade their front line. In conclusion, the signing of Mitchell Robinson is a significant move for the Celtics. He's a talented player who will bring a new dimension to their lineup. While there are questions about how he'll fit in, I believe the Celtics have made a smart investment. As the NBA offseason continues to unfold, it'll be fascinating to see how the Celtics and other teams navigate the complex landscape of free agency and trades. One thing is certain, though, Mitchell Robinson is a game changer, and his presence in Boston will be felt. I'm excited to see how this all plays out, and I'm sure Celtics fans are eager to see their new signing in action.